Hi there, it's Kevin with RogueDeckBuilder.com here with this week's episode of the Rogues Alley. This is actually more of a playing on a budget as well over at GatheringMagic.com. So I'm going to show you this matchup, and then feel free to go and check out GatheringMagic.com for the complete deck list, and some gameplay. So a little bit of a spoiler, it did very well with this deck. So this is a great hand to keep too. So we're gonna start off with the more powerful card with the Toolcraft Exemplar. Now, one change I might make to the deck is take out the Stoneforge Acolyte and go Throbbing Inspector, or maybe like a half-seize on both of them, or possibly even just take out. That's probably the right play, because the Inspector really makes the Inventor's Apprentice and the Exemplar work out well. So I think the Weapon Trainer is the better play here. We could go Stoneforge and Inventor Apprentice, but we're just going to go Bonesaw. And then that makes the Toolcraft Exemplar swinging for 4. So this is very similar. You're always going to be swinging for a ton of damage on turn number 2. And have had a bunch of turn 4 kills already with the deck. So it's just a very, very aggressive equipment-based strategy. And the equipment that really is good from Kaladesh that puts it all together is called Inventor's Goggles. And hopefully we'll see it in this match. But it was really, really good throughout the day. So here, if we draw a land, I think the Stonehavens is actually more powerful than... Oh, no. I probably should have waited for Stonehavens, because this doesn't do much at all. If he has a... Well, he still would kill the Toolcraft Exemplar, I would think, with the Harness Lightning. You got to think that my opponent has a Harness Lightning in hand. So 4 on turn number 1, 7 on turn number... Or turn number 2, and then 7 on turn number 3. Just going to Harness Lightning the weapon. Still taking 3 then. So I was worried about red control decks. They're dead, though. They're completely obsolete. I'm very surprised I'm matching up against one. In fact, haven't seen any U-White Flash or Green-Black Delirium, the two decks I did want to test against. But just a Deadlock Trap. So this, probably another Metalwork Colossus deck. Did go up against this match earlier. So if we hit a land, this is a very powerful hand. If we don't hit a land, I'm just going to, that's a... Needle Spires. It's still going to be the Apprentice and then Equip, because we want to keep an Acolyte back for the Reckless Bushwhacker next turn. So we'll go Apprentice and then equip the Bonesaw to the Toolcraft Exemplar. Maybe I should have gone on the Stonehaven, but that pumps it up, and we're going to get in for 7 this turn. And we'll draw a card if our opponent does board wipe. Down to a 6, and yeah, this should be pretty easy to finish off our opponent. Yeah, this is another Metalwork Colossus deck, and it's got to be Radiant Flames or bust. I don't think he can cast anything here to get him back in. Our opponent doesn't know that, though. It could be a Thought-Knot. No, Thought-Knot Seared is usually not in the deck. And Radiant Flames would take, yeah, the Glint Nest Crane. Needs to find... I'm not even sure. I mean, the Deadlock Trap is going to tap down a creature. So he has another Deadlock Trap. And so if you cast the other Deadlock Trap, it's over. Or he's cast 3. So there's a Prophetic Prism. Alright, so he can't stop enough damage with the Stoneforge Acolyte and the Reckless Bushwhacker. Too bad. Inventor's Apprentice is actually better because it's 1 more damage. So Apprentice and Bushwhacker, and that's game. Because the Deadlock Trap can just tap down the Toolcraft. And he can only block 2 creatures basically. So we'll bring in Fragmatize. It's pretty good versus this matchup. Stasis Snare is okay, but the key card here is actually going to be the Fire Mantle Mage. And I'm going to prefer it probably over the Acolytes. The Acolytes do come out quite often. And again, I think that looking back, hindsight, you usually get a little taste of the deck list here. The card that you do want in the deck is probably going to be just a Thraben Inspector. Even though it doesn't have, it's not an Artificer. What's cool about the Stoneforge Acolyte, it's both an Artificer and an ally. And so it fits both the tribes for the Inventor's Goggles, as well as fits the tribe for, well, it is the only reason for allies. But, I mean, I could go down, like, again, a two of split. I'm getting mana flooded quite often, and 21, though, does seem perfect for the deck. So, possibly, like, a Pia Nalar can come out and just have 2 main, and then we could run 2 Stoneforge Acolytes and 3 Thraben Inspectors. But I think Thraben Inspectors getting that clue out is going to be... I mean, I've got pretty lucky having Bone Saws and Inventor's Goggles. The Acolytes can actually dig for them, too, which is the good news. But there's a little taste. I go over the deck tech more in depth for Gathering Magic, but this is going to be a pretty easy matchup. It's going to be hit the Radiant Flames or bust. We're going to keep this hand. It has a first turn Expedition Envoy, actually, is probably the better play. And a lot of lands again. But 20 lands is pushing it. I think 21 is the right statistically hitting the 3 land for the Reckless Bushwhacker on time. Fire Metal is actually going to be pretty good. So the reason why I'm going to the Expedition is it's guaranteeing. I could actually take out the Expedition one for Thraben Inspectors too. That's actually an option. Weapons Trainer. I think just Needle Spire is going to play tapped is fine. Oh, geez, no, it's not. Why was I doing that? I was going to go for... I'm so tired. I was up all night last night watching the elections and didn't get any sleep, as I had to wake up at 6 in the morning. So that actually is going to slow us way down because we needed to have a 2 drop out. This might actually change his mind, though, on like running a Radiant Flames. Yeah, because we can just Reckless Bushwhacker next turn. If I want to go that route. Just a Deadlock Trap. I think I just want to go Fire Mantle Mage, actually. There's a Toolcraft. Yeah, because we could really go crazy next turn with Boom Boom Boom. Yeah, I think that's the right play. Because if he puts out a blocker, he can't block. So pretty good play next turn. The best thing we could draw into is a equipment. Because then the Weapons Trainer will get some more value. Our opponent is down to a 16, but we have allowed our opponent to really ramp out for the Metalwork Colossus. We have a decent strategy for Metalwork. So Plains here, and I think I am just going to go crazy here. So it's going to be Inventor's Apprentice. So Toolcraft, Apprentice, and no point trying to play around a Radiant Flames that could be in our opponent's hand. So he gets to use a Deadlock Trap on one of the creatures. But he's still taking an insane amount of damage here. Down to a 7. Does get a gain of life. That's annoying. And Metalwork Colossus 3, 6, 7, 8. Kozilek's Return possibly in our opponent's hand. Yeah, it's got to be Kozlik's return. Incendiary Sabotage. That wipes the field. But we do get a comeback with a weapon trainer and an expedition. Does have the mana for a Metalwork Colossus. Does have 2 energy. Cultivator's Caravan is annoying. And the Puzzle Knot's annoying too. But still hasn't found the Colossus. So he will let me attack with the Envoy. He's probably saving the other for an activated Needle Spires, but I'd rather get a Stonehaven out. So 2 cards in our opponent's hand. He does get a gain of life, go up to 10. He does have a way to sacrifice. Has a ton of energy as well. And he's going to sack the Inventor's Fair to find the Metalwork Colossus. As this does allow him to sack the Sanctum of Ugin. Yeah, cast 2 of them for free. And that is going to be lethal unless I can figure out a way around them. So, Fragmentize would have been nice a long time ago. Yeah, you can actually tap things down with the Deadlock Traps. We'll get rid of one of them. This does give us a blocker. Opponent does have to be a little bit cautious. Prophetic Prism draws a card. This deck does do very well going through the deck to find the Metalwork Colossus. Still 4 energy in our opponent's hand. Alright, living on the edge here. So we'll block and take 10. Tap, tap, I die. Unless I keep back in Needle Spires. I'm just dead anyway. Yeah, I just die here. Because of the Deadlock Trap. Alright, we'll go on to the next match. Or the next game. We get to be on the play this time, so hopefully we can actually outrace the Incendiary flow. I still don't think we need Stasis Snares. Maybe that is a one-trick pony and there's no way to actually deal once I've got the Stasis Snares going. And more of like this control route instead of going like Firemental Mages. I still do like the Firemental Mages. I'll just keep a 1 of in. And Fragmentize is still incredibly potent in this deck. So I'm just going to take out just Pia and Crondalar. Possibly that's not the right line of play, because now we're really down to 25 creatures. But Declaration of Stone and Stasis Snare, I don't know. Could work. This is probably about as crappy of a hand as a starting hand as possible with the... Well, we do have a Weapons Trainer. and Needle Spires. It's not keepable though. And this is actually worse, but I'm going to keep it just because we're kind of scraping the bottom. Oh, that was the wrong card again. I'm getting incredibly tired here. Toolcraft Exemplar. I thought that was Inspiring Vantage for whatever reason. Well, at least it's a land that doesn't have to come into play tapped. And he'll just, yep, Galvanic Bombard it off. I think I'm going to be too slow. Weapons Trainer's good, though. We'll Weapons Trainer here. See if he's got another answer. Just keeping in the removal. There's a Caravan. Nope, another land. Still have not even done damage to our opponent. There's another Cultivator's Caravan, so we're really at the mercy of the Metalwork Colossus here. And Incendiary Flow on the Weapons Trainer. So I think the right line of play is just to come in with Needle Spires. And we got in damage. Not too shabby. Another Saint of Vugan, though. We're really dead when the Metalwork Colossus has come out. We have the Declaration in Stone, though. So I still think this is the right play. Just keep coming in with the Needle Spires. And now it's actually looking like not that bad of shape. Well, we'll do it one more time. Our opponent is down to an 8. And we have double. We can actually, yeah, we can go crazy next turn. The battlements. Nothing's changed here, so I think I'll just keep going for it. And our opponent did not cast anything again. So he really flooded out. And one more time. Needle Spires, can you get the job done? Incendiary Flow probably, yes, on a Cultivator's Caravan. But that actually hurts my opponent a lot because now we can flood out. And the Metalwork 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, I guess you can Metalwork Colossus. But we have double Bushwhacker. So there's a Metalwork Colossus. You can sacrifice both the Sanctum and Vugans. See if that happens. And for what is the Metalwork? And I guess I could just lose here for if he gets the Elder Deep Fiend. No, because Elder Deep Fiend will put him behind. and decides to keep the other one. So what's the play? I want to land here. Not that land, but it will work because we want to get in as much damage as possible. Let's see, can he... Oh, jeez. This is actually... Because the... He can crew the Cultivator's Caravan if I deck in stone. One card in hand, it's a Metalwork Colossus. So wait a second. I have double... I have an Envoy and an Apprentice, and he can only block one. So I just win here, I think. I can't. I'm starting to doze off. So we go Envoy, Apprentice, Bushwhacker. No, yeah, you can only block one of them. And he's at 4 exactly. Ta-da! We actually pulled that off. Surprising. Okay. Needle Spires gets the job done. So many attacks with Needle Spires. Opponent did get really, really flooded and stuck with Incendiary Sabotages, which end up not being that great versus Needle Spires. He didn't want to kind of pull the trigger on that Cultivator's Caravan. So, anywho, be looking forward to that over at Gathering Magic for Rogue's Alley. This has been Kevin with RogueDeckBuilder.com. Thanks for watching.